Long agar long agar long agar long agar long agar long agar
Wait lang guys, the chat is not working. Hi Paul. Wait lang guys, the chat is not working. Why is that? Wait lang guys, the chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is that? I forgot how to do this. The chat is not working. Why is Did I escape the void? I think I did. Okay. I was stuck in a time loop. So the chat is still not showing on. So let me just fix that a bit. After a few while, everything just stopped working. You forgot how to do it. God damn, how do you do that? Hold up. It's alright. Ilan, kumusta? Yeah, doing okay. Since nung last visit ko dyan sa Mothership. Hi, Alison. Fuck, I can't read the chat. Hi, Mama Joyce. Hope you enjoy listening. Hold up. I fucked up my chat box and I'm viewing the preview inside the thing, so I can't see it clearly. How did I fuck up this? We'll do it live. All right. Oh, I haven't turned on my shit yet. So, what's up, my hombres? So we're just gonna jump right into it since I don't have much stuff to say. I don't know how the setup will be since I'll be looking down my drawing tablet. So I don't. Well, you're not here to look at my face, so I don't think that's gonna be a detriment to what we're doing here. So, anyways, we're gonna just get started here. And I just need to. So this is a commission character by one of my good friend and D&D party mate, Paul. He wanted to do an illustration for one of his characters. I actually did his other character, but he came in for second round. And thank you for that, Paul. I know it's way overdue, but you know, I have to juggle a lot of commissions and stuff. But thank you for your patience. But yeah, we're at it right now, and we're gonna start doing this Changeling Bard. I'm trying a new process on painting stuff, so I've been studying some online courses about digital painting and shit. So what they do is they segregate colors depending on what material, I think, just to make things easier for them to render, at least in the beginning part. So let me turn off some of the layers for you, so you can get a quick preview of what we're doing here. So let's just turn those all off. And it's freaking out. Why is my Photoshop freaking out? Oh, I forgot to turn on the. Sorry, I need to drink some water, man. Forgot to grab some water, but we'll do it on the break. So this is the line work. It's on a different layer, and this is the background. The scene is inside the stage. Yes, Changeling Bard husband. Oh, yeah, yeah. He has this one of his description. He gives off an evil smirk or a grin. So I think he's gonna be mostly. I'm not sure about Paul's alignment on this, but you know, it's not like your typical aloof or carefree bard that just wants to bang the next monster he encounters, or him. So that's the background of the stage. So one of the description is he's more of a showman. Like, what's that Wolverine's film? What's his name? Jake Paul? No, I'm fucking it up. The actor who plays Logan, like Wolverine, the Greatest Showman. Yeah, there you go, Greatest Showman. Thank you. So he has that aura. It's one of his description, and he's more of that type of bard. So it's not more of like the spunky, jokey one. So this is the character mask. This will help enclose the painting into the form. So it's just that. It's just a mask. So here I'm just working out different materials on the character. Of course, this is not in order. I actually did this on a way that it would show clearly on the final look of the layers. So like that.
So I just went from down to up. So just working a new process and painting stuff, it's a lot tedious than what I used to do. Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Huge Jackman, yeah. So it's more, this process is more tedious than what I usually do. It's because I just merge all the layers, paint on top of it, right? And it's more intuitive and I like it like that. But it's it's super difficult when you come across revisions and like changes, since you have to repaint the entire thing and that consumes more time. This process is helpful in when you're trying to learn how to fundamentals, and that's I think the goal is, because it separates process. It separates your brain power focusing on everything at once when you're doing single layer painting, because at then you're just jumping from values to colors to composition to design. So that's a lot of brain power to do, which of course I tried my best to accomplish, but most of the time when I finish a painting, it feels like I got lucky that I finished it, like, and it came out the way it did. So I can't grasp the fundamentals I've gone through the process of painting it. So this way, it kind of breaks it down into little segments and makes it a lot easier. Hold on. Makes it a lot easier to make it stick to your head mostly. So yeah, enough chit chatting. I'm here to paint, and I hope I could at least finish. Carlen, what's his instrument? He just has. I'm not sure, Paul. What instrument does he have? He has a cane, like a performance cane, but I'm not sure if he has an instrument. Yeah, he has a cane. Paul says instrument is a. I can't for the life of me read that through the preview window. But anyways, yeah, he has a cane. So that's mostly his instrument. He's more of a director of the show. Oh, he said. Paul said he has a lute, a pipe too. Yeah, yeah, I think you're correct. A cane lute. That would cool. That's cool. I was thinking it could be a sword, but it's in the cane form, so I didn't bother putting it in. So after a while, after I finished, adding some shadows and basic values on the separate layers, they actually merge it down, and it becomes a lot easier to manage, because one problem with painting a piece with 100 bajillion layers is it's gonna confuse you, and if you don't name your layers, and who does, it's gonna fuck you up. So it's best to narrow down your layers to foreground, middle ground, background. So there's still malleability in it, and you don't have to redraw stuff that is behind the character if you want to change something. So we're just gonna start painting the roads. At this point, I'm just dabbing in some values. I also considered the color, because he has it's a dull red coat, right? But because there's a blue light hitting it, it will come across, the actual color is actually purple. But since it's surrounded by blue light, it would look like red. So it's one of the color theories that I learned a few years ago, which is actually really helpful. It helps put the pieces of the painting together. It makes it feel like it came from the the same scene. So I'm just adding some values. So with values, right? I'm just doing basic casted shadows. I'm not doing like ambient occlusion. I'm not doing the midtones yet. Just casting a shadow on the painting and where they would land. So that takes form shadows and drop shadows, or casted shadows. So those are the two types. Form shadows is the shadow forming on the surface, and cast shadow is a shadow casted by another form. So this area here, let me show that. This shoulder here is casting some shadow because the light is coming from. Oh, it wouldn't work like that. So I need to put that here. So this shoulder here, since the light is coming from behind it, right? So it's coming at this angle. It's from back and towards him. So this is spotlight behind him. This highlight casts a shadow right around here, and it's also the form shadow of the shoulder. So it will cast some shadow right around here, and then it would be the form shadow of the shoulder. So that's a simple way of doing shadows. It's best to simplify things first, and then you could work on the intricacies and subtleties of shadows and color later on. So at this point, we're just, at this point I'm rambling, but we're just, oh shit, we're just doing some basic, discussion about shadows. I'm no teacher. I'm not a teacher, so I'm just saying how I would do it, based from learning from others. Based on what I learned from other artists, which kind of works for my case. It might not work for you. Maybe you have a different perspective on doing shadows, but that's one of the fundamentals of painting in general, drawing. I think my chat got weirded out. Chat froze, I think. The music I'm using is from Stream Beats from Alpha Gaming. He produced a lot of copyright-free music for people. So if you're planning on streaming and you need some background music, you could use him. There's a lot. Lakey Inspired is another artist that produces copyright-free music that I actually like and I could use.
think I'm having some technical difficulties here. What happened with Photoshop? What the fuck? I installed a new. Everything seems to be working, but it's the brushes won't load. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break and I'm gonna reset my damn Photoshop. I think it crashed on me, so I'm gonna grab some water and fix this for a bit. Okay, hold up.
I got my mute on. So I wonder. I'm not sure when this part will appear. I'm not. I don't think this is part of our same group we run. Ellison, hi Ellison. Ikaw ang malakas, bro. Thanks for dropping by. So yeah, we're just getting down. So I'm planning there's gonna be a second light source. So just to show some of the references here. So there's Hugh Jackman, the Swedish uniform. Suit. I don't know what to call that. Some images of dark. It's good to have this somewhere on your side, but I'm not sure if. Yeah, it's good to have this on your side. I just put it on the same layer, like it's on my file, so I can turn it on and off. And we are. Oh yeah, I'm explaining the second light source, right? So the second light source is coming right around here. Oh, kind of around there. Maybe. Or maybe just right in front. Yeah. So right towards his face. That doesn't suggest anything. But yeah, that's where the second light is coming from. So I'm taking it into account, like in my head. I am already preparing for it, so it's gonna be a diffuse light, I think. If I know what diffuse light actually means, if I remember it correctly. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a diffuse light. That second light source. So in my head, I'm already preparing for it. So right now we're just adding more shadows. Yeah, dim light. So we're also since there's going to be a second light source, right? I'm gonna maybe have some cast shadow since it's in front of them, and it's gonna cast shadows right onto his jacket for the second light source. So it's gonna make the lighting dynamic instead of this part here being just pure shadow because of the rim light. There's gonna be like a dynamic lighting setup. Well, it's not that dynamic, it's just a 2D lighting setup. It's good for showing details and forms. I think Rembrandt is the master of the single lighting setup. Like, half of the face is just black. Well, it's not black, but it's dark, hella dark. So I think he mastered that. And then his contemporaries kind of verge out to lighting setup in Sargent. I'm only aware of those I've actually tried to study, doing master studies. But yeah, I'm just eyeballing where the shadow might fall into. So since the lower half of his coat is a conal shape, I'm considering the shape of the it's a conal shape. What am I saying? So I'm considering what part of that lower coat would be cast in shadow, since it's just gonna be light on both sides, right? On the back side and on the front side. So I'm considering that. There we go. So yeah, it's taking some form. I could work on a bit more of the simplifications. And that's another thing. I tend to hyper detail a lot of stuff and hyper complicate things, even at this very early part of the painting, which I should fix because it's only gonna take it's your technically you're spending too much time on the beginning, the planning part, right? And most often than not, those will change rapidly when you add more elements with later. So it's advisable. It's a wise, yeah, it's advisable to take it really rough and loose at this stage. So maybe I'll make some cast shadow on the golden lining. Maybe. I'm thinking it's just a ornamental thing. Alright, so also cast shadow on this part of the area of the coat, like the under. What do they call this? Overflaps. the shoulder flappily floops. But anyways, MBEX. So right, what happened to my font? Did it? Oh, there you go. I thought the fog on the layout is gone. There you go. So it's looking pretty. If you look far enough, it looks. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to have values, which is. So Polly, the one who commissioned this, says, by the way, some background. This be for a Changeling Glamour bard that took part in a one-shot bank heist. Oh, so it's a one-shot character. Okay. Are you doing this with us, Polly? Or is it with another group? Oh, it's with our group. Okay. Do I need to roll another character of mine? Oh, okay. I missed it. I missed the one shot. You know, speaking of groups, I shout out to my to my group. To my actual group that I DM for. I feel bad because I can't DM for them for a bit. It's been months now, and I've been cramming so much work, and I miss playing the game with you guys. So hopefully this week I'll finish up the festival I've cooked up for you, and we can play. So maybe this part shouldn't be that much. It's like he's having some sort of tits right there. We don't want that. Yeah, just the food is enough. Okay, so the really rough stage, right? But it's mostly there. Just figuring out where stuff goes and how stuff are going there. It's more of a learning trope, actually. People say, well, research says that you learn a lot faster when you rationalize things like this, not intuitively learn, but whatever works. I think there's Paulie says the one we be joining is a train heist. So different. Okay, so this character is from a different group and different one shot. Do you plan on using this character again, Paulie? Yeah, he's wearing that. It's like the skin tight black with choker. I don't know what to call those, but the one that who wears that? It's like an anime trope, like a skin tight turtleneck. Oh, that's too bad. Paul said he lost a character sheet for this. I haven't gotten used to that streamer skill. Like, I don't know how I could read the chat. Like, I need to get used to it. It's still new to me. I should probably put the description and stuff on Twitch. It's a proper credit for the user. I think I forgot to add the default one because I have a copy paste like credit. It's been a while. I'll rectify it later. Yeah, this is mostly clothing. So the abs is just like a form showing through it, but it's a skin tight shirt, a black shirt. Yes. I think I keep forgetting who wears this shirt. Dio, of course, Dio. Our Lord and Savior Dio Brando wears this shirt. I'll show you what I mean. There you go. I need a wearing something like this. Oops. What's with the shift? Oh, fuck's sake. So he's wearing that kind of shirt, skin tight, turtlenecky. I don't know the term. Turtlenecky. Sounds about right. So yeah, I'm gonna have that for him, but he's wearing a different shirt on his sleeves, and this is just a sleeveless coat, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I was going for here. Okay, back to the drawing. So here, I'm just gonna add. Yeah, it's a skin tight shirt, and the red is just there for so I could see the lines. So it's gonna be mostly embracing the form, more clothing apparel he has. So and what really? Oh, can do that. So then just moving away again, making sure that probably smack them front buns. Yeah, he's gonna be that the charming evil dude. I think that he has that vibe, like that. You don't see him as an evil guy, but he has that cunning evil aura. I could stream our Wild session, maybe. If I don't suck at it, maybe. Yeah, I've been streaming games for a while. It's not that I'm not playing games. It's just I kind of want it to be a personal thing for me. But yeah, maybe I could stream some Wild later. Show you my professional scrub moves. So the highlight will be coming from below, so it's gonna be like that. Oh, also, one good thing about this process is if you want to change color, you could easily do so. It's not like you're gonna lasso the entire thing and then you have to fucking repaint it. Even at this point, I could change colors and decide before I started actually painting over stuff. So at this point, I'm still just planning things out, making sure the form is there, it's readable, the values are quite there, colors almost there. I'm just making sure the general stuff are taken care of before I start, spending hours. Hi Joyce, thanks for the follow. That sound is like hella turned. I now know why it's addicting to hear, especially if you're streaming. But yeah, it's gonna take me a while for me to do this. Maybe I'll finish all the value stuff and some lightning setups, and then I'll continue painting the entire thing some other day. Maybe tomorrow? I'm not sure if I could stream every day. With commissions comes and goes, so I'm not sure when are they gonna come. So it might caught me at a time where I'm busy or in the middle of the stream, so I can't say when. But yeah, I hope I could do this every day, really. And I'll slowly transition into it as I usually go. Fuck it and just do it. Right? I mean, do things legally, not illegal stuff. Even though the secret ingredient is crime. So yeah, fuck it and just do it. So right now, yeah, it's looking up to shape. So maybe I could watch whoa. So I could maybe select this layer like that and then adjust it. See, it's easy to check and change colors really easily. So I could change tones and values. Yeah, that looks cool. Like it. So he's gonna have that choice between the beige pants or black pants. So it's just uniform. But I think it's gonna be too neutral, I guess. I still want him to have that flamboyant look to him. Feedback, asikasuhin ko lang. Yeah, sure, Polly. Thanks for dropping by. Alright. So now we're just gonna add more shadows here and there. Again, we're just working around the piece without focusing too much on one certain thing. So we're gonna go with the arms. So again, cast shadow from the shoulder piece there. Just gonna cast some shadow from the spotlight behind him, right around there. And then we're gonna have more. So it's a cylinder, right? Arm is a cylinder, so it has form shadows around it. So we're gonna show that at least. So just making sure that there's some values going on around the folds, as well as the form of the arm itself. So again, simplifying things. You don't actually, fuck it. Don't paint the folds. Forget that. Just paint in huge, thick, girthy strokes. That's what I mean. There you go. So we are just doing this here. Adding more forms, making sure it's simple enough, not to overcomplicate things. Alright, so that is done. And now we could, maybe shift some value, introduce some midtones here and there, but not too much. Just the basic gradients of the form, so that we could get some idea on how we're gonna do it later. Maybe paint some of the forms, like tangents. Maybe this one, tangent there. So this here, making sure that it's uniform in details. You don't have to really go ham and focus on everything at once. So just enough for you to retain some information on the piece. There you go. And then cover this as it is casted from below. Maybe it's a darker red tone. I'm not sure. I don't want this to be red. I don't want the sleeves to be red. It's too common. I think I wanted to have a different earthy tone. So I don't know. I'll decide later what color it's gonna be. It's a good thing. You don't have to settle with anything yet. Everything is malleable at this point, which is really good. You don't have to stick to the original design. Even the form, even the details on the line work, it's not set in stone. If you change something, you can always paint it over later. It's just a general guide to get most of the painting started. So you don't have to pull your hair out trying to figure everything out, everything at once. Yeah. So same with here, we're doing the broad strokes of the arm, making sure we're not over detailing things and just the basic forms of it. Then we could go in and decide which way things should go. But at least it's generally there. We could add some. Yeah, we're gonna add some midtones later. But for now, it's just the forms. yeah, we could work on the color since we already started with the coat. At this point, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, at this point, my brain is focused on, it's kind of in autopilot since I know where the shadows would be and how they would interact with each other. So I don't have to think much about it. Since the thinking part is always spent on the designing and the color. And I did that off stream. So right now I'm just figuring, not entirely autopiloting. It's just I spent a little, way less brain resources to render stuff and add values to it. It's basic shadows, not really like a complete rendering of forms. This should be maybe a bit more red because there you go. See, it's starting to take shape. If you zoom it out, you see the form of the guy is showing up. So that's great. So here we're just gonna figure out the forms here, but it's mostly there since there's gonna be a second light source here. I don't wanna cast it with too much shadow because that's gonna be an area for midtones. And this is just the general shadow. The terminal is the darkest. Yeah, it's a combination of. No, yeah, it is the darkest part of the shadow because ambient light gets to the rest of the shadow, like bounce light, ambient light. So terminal is the darkest part of the shadow because it takes the least amount of ambient light. And that's different from ambient occlusion. Least, but ambient occlusion is it takes no ambient light at all. And the creases. I think I'll start doing it, but in my work, when I apply that to my work, it's blended with the general shadows, right? So I don't really have an extra layer that for ambient occlusion. So we are now. Yep, just gonna add more stuff here. Maybe here. Just to highlight where the light is coming from, but not too much. I'm digging right into it, so maybe I'll hold it off. What I'll do is soften this part because at this point it looks so flimsy, like the material is not actually would be able to be standing up like that. So I'm trying to make it look more, has some thickness to it. So it's not going to be as foldy. It's not going to make as much folds as I am showing right now. So I'm fixing that. So maybe I will just determine it with the highlight. It's just one smooth color. Very little folds. Maybe at the seams, at the very edges of it. Yeah, that's alright. So maybe add some I like the direction it's going to. There you go. We're still working on, yeah, most of the stuff. What I want to do now is the hat. The coat. So for the hat, this the front brim and the cap itself will get much light because most of it is going to be blocked by the form. Cat shadows. It's we have two light bursts that's really blocking it, so it's not going to be showing anything else. So that's where the shadow is going to lie. Casting that dark rim on top of his face. It actually adds to the contrast of it. I like it. Like there's that contrasting layers, like segments within the painting, like light, dark, light, dark. It adds to the composition of things. Helps guide your eyes through the painting, which is nice. It's more of a like composition theory. You don't have to. It's just like any theories out there. It's just a guide to follow. You don't have to follow it to the T, but it does help making stuff more readable. In this case, more interesting to see. It's really interesting to look at. So yeah. And we're just adding more stuff here. Maybe the same highlight that is going to appear here. So this is top of the set. So here, right, it has that like a fuck up on the top. You can just erase that. Yeah, it's quite okay. I'm just gonna flat out. So it's too flat, right? So I could add some, gradation on that. And there you go. I'll probably fix it later. It's not looking too crispy for me. That feather is just an accent. I just combined blue and red. It's not the most creative solution to, the color scheme is red, black, and blue because of his skin. It's earthy tones, right? And then earthy browns and teal. Oh no, it's khaki. He wears khaki. No, not khaki. It's probably some gambeson. No, it's not gambeson. Jerkins. Some undergarments there. But yeah, it's a basic color scheme, and I just put a purple feather for a highlight. That's that's quite it's quite on the nose, but it's fine. It adds the flair to him without being bodacious. Is that the term? Yeah, I think it's a term. So I think we're gonna start. Yeah, we're gonna finish the hat. And seeing how fast I'm going through this, it's kind of refreshing actually. I don't have to curse the gods for not for not gifting me enough insight on how to paint and draw. So this takes way less brain power than painting everything else, which is a fun exercise, but I don't suggest to do it like unless you're really comfortable with your fundamentals and you're really down at it. Nailed it down to the point that you can do it without hindering your process and your time spent on your work, especially if you're already working as a professional. Like, starting out, you're still figuring things out, you're still learning new skills and learn your way around your personal preferences on doing stuff. So it works well when you really nail down the fundamentals, which in my case is it's still getting there. It's a long way to go, so I still have to learn color theory and how light interacts with forms, and of course materials. That I really suck at materials. Like it's hard for me to render stuff because I don't have that much of a visual library when it comes to materials, and that's what I need to improve on. So again, we're just gonna add more highlights over here. Adding more. So at this point, right? Let me show you the light. Where's the light coming from? This one. So the light is coming from this angle. Right. I think it's too flat. It comes at an angle. The second light, maybe orange on color, coming through here. Oops, oopsie. Right there. So it's coming from probably the stage or the light of the tavern is in. I'm not sure. It's probably a theater, right? It looks like a theater. There's like a red curtain something there. But yeah, I think he's more of a theater actor performance guy than your typical bard. You're just frolicking with women and other people. No, I'm talking about because this character is a guy. I'm assuming she should never do. Okay, so there's gonna be that highlights wrapping around the brim of his hat. This part is kind of whack, so I need to change that. It looks muddy, but I don't like it. So either he's just go all white because it's catching a lot of the light behind it. flattens out right here because it's not folded. It kind of gradiates behind, like the elevation doesn't exist behind the brim. So another thingamajig there. So another way of learning how to process stuff is learning how things actually work behind objects. So it's always a 3D form. So you always have a sense of form in there. So it gradiates off towards the side. Right? It should be like that. Since it was folded on the other side, it's gonna go way up there. Then from here, the side is flipped, then it will lock up and then go there. Okay, so that's the basic form. Added a bit more length to mirror the other side, and that's the form we got, right? And then just add the folds right there. So it's a 3D object, right? It's a hat behind everything. It's like a plane, you origami shape. But yeah, it's good to know basic forms and drawing like that. It's not just you're drawing what you see. You understand what you're looking at, so you could draw it from any angle you like, and it comes with understanding the forms. It's really helpful if you're planning on become a illustrator, concept artist. It's one of the most important skills, drawing actually. You could photo bash. It's one of the tricks we use to, especially if we have like really tight deadlines. It helps making that photoreal or cinematic rendering, right? Without actually painting every pixel of the thing. So we use that to shortcut details, but we still need to understand fundamentals. Like, okay, is the value correct? Is the perspective correct? Is the foreshortening correct? Proportions correct? Is the composition of it correct? So it still plays with fundamentals, and you can't cheat your way into that. You could cheat a painting, but you can't cheat your fundamentals. Right? You can photo bash all you like, but it will show if you lack fundamentals, and that's also what I've been working on. I want to get on to using that technique because I still want to pursue concept art and want to improve upon it. So it's one of the things I've been doing for a while. So learning enough fundamentals. Yeah. It's 1 hour mark, so I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I'm gonna make some coffee and stretch my legs. So I'll be back in real quick. My stash is whacked. There you go. Alright, so we're gonna steamroll through this, and we're gonna start with the skin now. So it's this color. So when I pick color for my scene, it's usually depends on the light setup, what color the light is. So I try to mix. So try to mix the light source and the actual color, because with the light source, let me show you some diagrams of that. So when the light source, for in this case, it's almost orange, like from candlelights and stuff. So it's gonna bounce from the skin, which is blue. So it's gonna absorb that red light, yellowish light, red, orange light, right? So it's gonna absorb that, and it's gonna reflect that light from the skin, and it would absorb some yellow, but it will mix with the blue skin. So it's gonna be around greenish tint, and that's where I kind of slowly find the color, the right color for the shadow. So let me just demonstrate that. So for this color, it's this blue, and we're gonna, in the color wheel, we're gonna edge it close to the greenish side, almost the bluish green, since it's closer to yellow, right? You don't go the other long route to the purples. You go to the greens because it's closer to yellow. And we're gonna pick this color with the same values, right? Same hue, but we're gonna dip it down a notch and desaturate it, maybe around 10%. So that's where, so we came up with this color. Maybe put a bit more of blue there, not too much green, and just slowly find your shadow. There you go. Maybe a bit more. Some more. It's gonna have that greenish tint. Maybe a bit more saturation here. A bit more blue. So it's not as blue as the base color, but because it's gonna reflect some yellow light later, it's gonna be gradient towards this specific shadow. So let me swap back to my painting brush and then start painting. So it's almost blue-greenish tint, hue, with a bit more desaturation, and a bit more darker in value. So we just edge it around there, make sure we have enough space for the midtones, and of course the light source is going to be bouncing off the screens. So let me just remove this so because you can see right here. So just explaining the process and what's going on in my head, because I have not that I don't have anything else to talk to, it's just the most easiest topic to talk about. And it's no different from me working alone, it's just it all happens in my head. So the challenge comes from actually voicing out my thoughts, which is quite difficult. You know, I ramble a lot, which reflects how my brain usually works. Rambling. It's just a ramble machine. So usually when I draw alone, I just listen to music so to tone it down a bit, so I don't get overwhelmed with my own voice inside my head. But when streaming, it's useful because it's a scooch away from what I want to do, right? So what I wish to accomplish. So that's that. So we're just adding more forms, but we're not really digging into the details of stuff. Just again the basic shadows. So if you zoom out, it's really starting to show a lot of progress, which I'm really happy with. So maybe we can delete some of those overlaps. Same here. So we're gonna just start painting again on the other side. I'm leaving the face for last because I still have trouble rendering faces. It's not the most easiest thing for me to do, though I should be focusing more on that. But it just comes with practice, really, and how comfortable you are with your anatomy and color, because it has a lot more tonal change. I think face is one of the hardest things to draw, because if you somehow fuck it up, it's gonna show. It's easy to pick out, because we humans evolve to distinguish faces really easily. We could pick up, oh, that's a human face, and if there's something wrong with it, our brain could really pick it up really easily. So it's hard to really nail it down. I think sparodelia, that's the phenomenon. We see faces everywhere. It's the same with your exes. You see your faces everywhere. That's pareidolia. Let it go. she won't get back to you. But it's fine. You learn stuff as you go. See, rambling. That's what my brain is doing. So back to the drawing arms. We're just gonna add more stuff here, and I'm not sure the angle of the light, if it's gonna be casting a shadow. No, it's not. So this light is just a beam of radiating a spherical. Radiation is spherical in nature, and it's also directional. So it's gonna hit the gloves and the arms at the same angle. It's not gonna be like a close candle right here. It's gonna be far away, and it's gonna be radiating faint candlelight. So it's not gonna be too strong, and it's not gonna be coming in from different angles. It's just one broad directional light. There we go. So the forms are quite there. I'm just gonna add some more details on the skin, on the forms rather, but making sure it's not too detailed, just enough for me to work on later, doing the nitty-gritty painting. Yeah, this is just laying out stuff. But at this point, I could see enough progress that I could start really working on it. So I'm really happy with that. Because before it would just be a blob. It's so muddy, and I have to repaint everything, which sucks. It sucks really. So it eats up a lot of clears the brain. So we're gonna work on the face now, and so how do we do this? Okay, so second light first. So it's gonna be here, shadows right here. So we're just planning out the shadows really loosely. We're not trying to nail it in one go. So it's okay to make mistakes. You could paint over it, no problem. And that's what painting is about. You don't need to nail it in one go. It's okay to make mistakes. There are no accidents. Praise be our patron saint, Bob Ross. Just happy accidents. So we are finished with the cast shadow of maybe it's mostly there, the shadow of the brim of the hat. And then we're just rounding off the face, and then we're gonna reflect the second light, by clearing up some of the forms under the nose and the lips. We're gonna balance it out later. So this gives him that evil grin the commissioner wanted to have for the character. So you could just use forms, right? How you draw the smile, but the atmosphere and the lighting also helps to prioritize that emotion, the evil grin. I keep mispronouncing that. I have troubles with eyes and E's. My mouth can't keep up with what I think, with what my brain thinks. It's mostly just how comfortable I am speaking in my second language. So yeah, just making forms readable on the face. Make sure it's not too. Make sure it's still readable as a face. I mean, we could also add this part here. Maybe that's too much. We'll see. We'll just play it off for now, since we're working on the second light coming from below in front of it. We're gonna. I think I'm just gonna put some subtle changes on the values there. It's gonna play mostly on the midtones because it's too dark in this case. So we're just doing that, and then of course, since the shadow is coming from the front of him, his face is gonna round out like the one you're seeing right now. The edges of my face is cast in a shadow. No, it's not cast shadow, it's form shadows. So the form of your round face actually is making that gradient changes from here to here. So it adds that shadow. So that's also because the monitor light is in front of me, right? So it has the same effect. But now it comes from an angle and it's yellow or orange. Then we're also gonna cast some shadow on the lower lip that reflects that lighting setup we have. And then some ambient occlusion on the sides. So at this point, it's not gonna look like he has a mustache or something going on with it, because the values is still relatively close to. We're just gonna focus on that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the values. So it's still close to the skin tone that your brain would think, oh, it's just the shadow of the face. It's not gonna be like a mustache or something. It's gonna detect that because we set the values quite close to the base skin tone. Just dulling out, softening the shadows of the face because it's more important to have that closer to what we want than the rest of the body, because it's for me it's a make or break especially for character designs, characterizations. Of course, face is really important. And then we're just gonna add some space for the rim lighting of the second light source, just enough. But we're not gonna go way too much into it. Just enough for it to peek through. And that contrast of layering of the shadow, the second highlight, the facade, and then the rim light behind it, that's gonna add to the value composition of this piece. It's just really okay for stuff like that. It's gonna make it pleasant to look at. So that's what we're aiming when we say composition. It's arrangement of things that would make it pleasant to look at. The choice, oof, contouring and shadowing. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're just still a rough pass, like a rough layout of the shadows that we're gonna be painting later. We're just having that the basic layout. So if you zoom out really far, it's starting to take form, right? You still need a lot of work. Still needs more. I think it needs more. Yeah, it lacks light source. The second light source is still lacking, but if you zoom out, it's starting to take form. You could read the character. Is there? His form is there, right? So that's one way to check readability of your work. Zoom it out. Also, check values, right? You should always check your values. So how do we do that? So make a new layer on top of everything. Fill it with black. And then I got this from Tangzu. And then click on the layer mode and then select saturation. That would make the value of the painting really shine. So what I would want to do, seeing that, is adjusting the background because it's too close to our subject. So making it more lighter. That's too much. Okay, that's a bad way to do that. So levels would be better, or curves. Curtains on the side could be a bit more darker, but not as much. There you go. So when you zoom out, it's gonna pop a lot more. See? So that's how we check values, and then we just turn off the layer, and we're back to coloring. We're gonna do the neck. So for necks, it's same ordeal really. It's just realizing the forms of the body. The body. I'm referencing Mr. Bean when he went to an art session. There's a new painting session, and the artist. You know that you've seen it. I've seen it. I don't know why I'm referencing it, but anyways, it's gonna cast the shadow, the light from below. So anything that is curving away from that light source is gonna be casted. So we're gonna be casting shadows. So that goes with the top of your neck, below the undercarriage of your jaw would hit some light. That's why we have this space here to represent that. But the top of your, the forms of the face. So it's gonna reflect how the light is being casted. It's just making sense of things, really. How light interacts with objects and stuff, materials, in relation to other values, and color. And that's one of the hardest things I've learned. I have to learn in painting how light makes stuff a lot harder to see because you think, okay, his clothes is red. You would paint it red, but if you paint it red in this situation, it's not gonna look red. It's gonna look awful. So your brain, you need to reverse engineer how your brain thinks when it comes to seeing colors. I think the term is color constants, and it, the example I said earlier, this jacket, right? It's not actually red. This jacket right here, that color, the base color of that is not red. It's purple. But when you look at it, because it's surrounded by blue, your brain thinks, oh, that he has a red coat. So yeah, it's high-level tomfuckery of the brain that we have to deal with, especially for recreating like illustrations like these. So I think we're done with the face. Yeah. Oh, the ears. And the ears is gonna be usually the same. There's not much changes to the shadows of wrong layer. So the top will be on shadow, and then some of the forms here will be on shadow. Top part. Same here. And same here. And this is gonna be casted with some highlight. The ear is not equal, but I'll fix it later. No big problem. No biggie. Sorry about that. And then we're gonna just keep on working on the neck here since it's not like it's accurate. And we don't have to be just laying things out again. All right. So now we have the face, and we're gonna be working on maybe the features, I guess, because we're gonna ditch this. Layer primer. So right now we're gonna turn it down to almost non-existent. We're gonna start painting on the face, making sure there's some semblance of features there. What I want to learn is actually the smoke. I've seen artists really do it well. The Da Vinci smoke. It's like how he blends ambient occlusion in the entire painting. That's really good. But I can't really grasp the process of it, how does he apply it. So that's one thing I want to learn. But for what I could gather from just looking at it, is that they're almost soft brush the areas around the eyes with a really dark value, and that entails give the illusion of the eye being quite light. It adds that really mysterious look to the painting. Which, as you can see right now, I'm really sucking at. I haven't tried that at all. But we'll work around that and try to figure it out. Some progress. Yep. So it's a really thin line from a black eye to the smoke. it's the balance that I'm trying to get. It's really hard. I don't know how will you execute it. I have no fucking clue. which sucks because I really maybe I should. That's one of the things I have to learn next. The shadow smoke around the eyes is really good. Sorry about that. My computer is starting to have some aneurysms. And I could say that because I have aneurysms. When I've been awake for 3 days or 4 days. It's kind of getting there. It's fucking hard. It's coming off like he has some eyeshadow. Maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe it's eyeshadow. Let's make up. Anyways, the form of the face is looking good. I mean, even without the line work, it's kind of there. Just have to start painting on it, but that's gonna come later. We're just planning out. So for the eyes, it's mostly white, but not white, right? Same with color constants. You don't need to paint exactly how you think it is. White doesn't actually mean white. There are factors that you have to think about, like lighting, bounce light, source of the light. Wow, this track is fire. So maybe I'll give him some white eyelashes just to complement his gray hair, flattening hair. I'll do that later. And then we have this silvery lens, the iris of the eyes. So I'll try to emulate it, but I'm not sure if I can pull it right off. That's a good color. So at this point, I'm mixing colors, right, from the shadow. I paint some greenish color there, and then this color picket right from the canvas. See what color comes in. Maybe if it's too dark, let's add more green to it. And okay, let's see what the references. They don't have pupils, right? Some do. Yes, it does have that sinister look when you add that smoke. And because I think it would help with the evil green look and with the lighting setup. But when I've seen people use this, it's really, it doesn't give off that vibe. Like it's just eyeshadow, and I can't for the life of me, I can't fucking separate it from that aspect, right? It's especially for female illustrations, right? They could pull it off really easily, and it wouldn't look sinister. The female illustration would still look amazing, and without that feeling. But I don't know how to do that, so that's one thing I need to do an assignment for. I need to learn that, how to do that. So anyways, I'll be going with no people here because I think that's more cooler. That's cool. It's so really, yeah, it looks decent.
work on it. So the problem with at this point, you need to start considering what layers to merge because you're almost done. We're almost done with the planning stage. In a few while, we're gonna start actually painting the thing. So it's gonna be it's gonna be more tedious. Sorry about that. And that's where the real nitty-gritty part comes. So with illustrations like this, it's gonna take around 16 hours to finish. It's around that. I think 15 to 20 hours. 15 to 16. And that's the usual time I spend on illustrations. So it's a simple day's work. But you're painting everything from scratch. Not using stuff. So we have this watercolor effect, which I like, but I need to get rid of it. It's not the goal. And then we're gonna add some highlights to the sclera of the eye. Just make it moist. Looks decent. Also the teeth, he's grinning a bit. So for the teeth, the same thing goes apply. You would think it's white, but it's not. If you put white there, it's gonna look like this. Doesn't really work. Doesn't fit. So it's gonna be a lighter value than everything else, but it's not gonna be too light because what surrounds the teeth is shadow, like the mouth, the opening of the mouth, the redness of your lips. It's darker in value in general. So our brain perceives the teeth as white because of that contrast. And so when you think of I'm gonna draw some teeth or paint some teeth, the color automatically in your head forms out it's white. So you don't paint it. You paint it how your brain interprets the teeth, and it would look white, but the color is not white. It's another one of those color concepts. So just framing out the shadows here, making a bit more forms. I like the formation of it now. It's almost there. I just need to focus on it a bit. I'll clean it up a bit. Also the shadows of the nose, again, not to be dark. It's not dark, like black. It's just a shade of shadow, an ambient occlusion. It would become dark, but you don't have to like see through the nostrils like that. It's not how noses, unless it is like that, right? Unless that for example, you're doing some work and they have this almost there's no nose and it's straight to the nasal cavity. Precisely. And that's one way to draw that, right? But if you're drawing human generic noses, it has the usual curve to follow. Doesn't usually have that. So at this point, I'm just adding some occlusion stuff here and there. So just we could hold the form together once we get rid of the line work. Because you want to get rid of it as much as you know, as soon as you're comfortable with the form, because you want to paint the edges, right? It's one of the things that
you should be worried about as you paint the edges: soft edge, lost edge, and sharp edge. So yeah, just posing the teeth here. It's not gonna be like dark. Like you don't draw the actual separation. You draw the forms of the teeth around it. So that's what those lines are for. And from far, it's gonna look right. It doesn't look like it has a little gap tooth and stuff. Finishing on the nose, we're just gonna add some rim lighting here from the second lighting setup. And then just gonna add more here. We're compensating for the flare of the lips. So the form changes when the plane of the surface changes too. So we're reflecting that through this cast shadow from the lips. So just flaring out like that, but we don't have to be like too pronounced. Oops, accidentally erased the entire thing. Just undo it. And now we are figuring out the form of the cheeks. Now usually I don't want to hyper accentuate the details of the face. Just enough to show, but you don't need to draw this. Right? You don't need to draw that. Like that. Because it adds, once you draw that to the face, it adds so much distinction that it would look like creases and he looks gaunty, right? Older. So when painting stuff, it needs to be subtle. Like for this example, I want to have that some sort of change in the facial structure here. The same thing, right? The one I showed you. But I want it to be so subtle that it won't affect this image. And I want it to blend. I want it to blend with the rest of the cheeks. Like there's a snarl, but again, you have to reflect that with every muscle on the face, like nasal cavity. Sorry about that. Let me just drink some water. So this flaring of the nostril, the face should be like that. There's like a shift, right? So if you want to add that, it has to reflect it. So it doesn't normally happen on the face. So that's how I would do it. Because our face has so much fat. That's one of it has so much fat that muscle doesn't actually show. Because that would be scary if you're so ripped that your face shows muscles. That's fucked up. Okay, just adding some highlights here and there. I think I got the shadow down. He doesn't look as sinister, but he got that smoky, misty eye look. Right? I'm just gonna fix that later. I guess we could start working on the gloves. Making make sure that we're making the same progress everywhere in the painting, not focusing on one side. I just spent a lot of time on the face because it's a really important part. So you need to spend a little bit more time to it than most of the other parts. But generally, there you need to spend a lot of time detailing stuff later. So you will have your time with the piece. So right now we're just adding more shadows, making sure that even though it's technically black, right? He has some really dark coloring gloves, fingerless gloves. We're trying to show form with true highlights, right? Through the highlights of like the metacarpals and the carpals, like the knuckles. So we're trying to show some forms like that. And the folding of the leather itself. So we're trying to show some detail on that, but not too much, just enough to just enough for us to work on later. So again, we could change this to a darker tone, the levels. I think maroon is okay. What if I go black? Like same with the. Okay, the inner shirt is more of a blue tone, so we need to shift that color there. There we go. Desaturate it a bit, and then more red. There we go. And the same color as the shirt. I think it's okay, but I think it's a bit out of place with the rest of the stuff. Let's see. Say always flip your canvas when you're working on stuff, because what happens is your brain kind of embeds an image. It's like a backup, like a shadow double image in your brain. So when you're looking at the same piece for long extended periods of time, your brain ignores mistakes. A slight shift of the eye here, it's not equal here. You know, your brain saves this image, this orientation of the image in your brain, and it would ignore discrepancies, right? So when someone, it's the same effect when someone, your art director or your creative head would come over to your shoulder and look at your work, and they would pick out some stuff. Oh, why is it like that? So that's the fresh eye effect, right? So what we do, and Leonardo da Vinci did this by putting his painting in front of a mirror so he could spot the mistakes. So what this does, flipping the image, is for your brain to refresh the image that is saved in your head, and it would give you a fresh look on your painting. So you could spot the sudden changes like that. Right now, the eyes are not really the same. They're not the same angle. This one is slanted downwards, and this is more of a neutral horizontal line. So I need to shift that a bit and follow it. And then also, I've spotted this earlier, but the ears are not the same. Besides that, I think we're decent. This shoulder positioning is okay because this arm is on top of this other arm, so there's going to be slight deviation from the arms there, and that's fine. The shoulders are fine. I think everything's fine. It's just the eyes. The length of it is fine. Maybe it's a bit too long, but it's okay. It's for flair. We could change it all. We could change all those major stuff later. So we're gonna go back to the skin and paint some hands. Oops.
Okay, so the layer of the gloves is above, oh no, below the hand. So it's we have to be careful on not to be too rough on the application of paint because it's gonna it's gonna ruin the edges, which just doesn't really matter. It's just I want to be a bit more clean in that regard because it's one less thing that I have to go back and re-clean later. So less stuff for me to clean later. So just adding more stuff here and there, making sure that the values are okay. I mean, we're not changing values. It's just shadow in general. Cast and form shadows, no ambient occlusion, no midtones. So that's just a general shadow. So the belt and what else do we have to work on? The ornament on the head, the hat, the feather, the hair, and the cane, the pants, and all this stuff. So for now, we're just gonna skip to the background. I want to work on the background first, since we want this to be uniform in general, so we could get a better gauge on general progress. Like if your art director comes to your station and you're working on something, or the deadline is like 2 hours from now, you need to be like, okay, you need to work on something, deadline is today, and you have to like work on it for 3 pieces, right? So once the time comes, you have to be able to show something, right? So working on like broad strokes and finishing a presentable work at any stages, like even if it's a thumbnail, a sketch, initial design explorations, you need to be able to present it, right? And it will be very hard to present something if you only finish an eye, like a really well drawn eye, but the rest is not finished, like not even touched. So it's best practice to work on broad strokes and then just detailing it down in a uniform manner. It's a general art advice I picked up from professionals, and I am harping and mimicking just how you usually do with good art advice. We're adding some fog effect thing. Do they have fog machines? I would imagine they just missed the arcane magic thing here. It's not gonna be like a fog machine. Maybe they have. We're not sure. So I'm just adding some. I'm using the same brush actually. This is a really good brush that I'm still exploring how to use, but it's really versatile. Like I could paint with it. I could paint clouds with it. Some materials with it, like metal and stuff. It has enough mixture of randomness and texture that you could actually control. Like you don't have to be on the brush preset 99% of the time painting. You just change the direction, and that's one way to do it. And we have some clouds floating around. I'm not sure on my seconds monitor. It looks too blue, but on my drawing tablet it's dull enough. I'm not sure which one is which. Yeah, it's decent enough, I guess. And we're now gonna shift to the credits, which we're gonna add some clipping mats for that, so that we don't paint over stuff. So here, no blue rim lights is going to be showing. So we're going to just do that. Whoops, I fucked up. I dragged the entire taskbar when I was painting that. I need to zoom out a bit. I was getting hyped with my brush strokes. That usually happens. Alrighty. Maybe you could add more values here and there, but not too much. Just darkening up the values. Planning to get a screen protector for my drawing tablet. I'm too afraid. My hand is too heavy for even though it says that the glass is scratch resistant, especially for the pen. I'm afraid that my strokes are too heavy for it to it might get scratched. So I'd rather be switching screen protector every 1 year or 2 years, rather than accidentally scratching the glass and replacing it. That's fucked up. So right now I'm trying to control the pressure of my pen. So on the settings of the Huion tablet, I have the pressure sensitivity a bit up, so I don't have to press that hard to get the maximum range of pressure. So I don't need to really go ham on my tablet. I'm a gentle. I'm going in gentle. So adding more shadows just for composition's sake. This would quote unquote frame. I can't believe I did an air quote for that. I already said quote unquote. So it's gonna be framing the photo. I mean the illustration. Right? This dark corners. It's like a vignette, right? It acts like a vignette, but what it does is it keeps your eye in the center of the photo. I mean the subject. So you're not gonna wandering off. But in this case it's so overkill because I already have these two drapes, the curtains around him, and I also have the framing, the lighting. So it all works together. Even though it's overkill, I don't mind. So yeah, that's a bit work done on the background. So that's the 2-hour mark, and I'm gonna take another 5 minutes because we're gonna streaming for 6 hours. Shit, man. We're gonna be stuck here for a while. So I'm gonna be taking a 5-minute break, and then I'm gonna go back on finishing. I guess the cane and his lower pants belt. So I'm gonna be taking a break to stretch my legs, puff like a dragon, and I'll see you guys here in 5 minutes. took me a bit longer. But yeah, now we're gonna finish pants first. And I think it's more easier to go that route since there's not much stuff to do here. Did I accidentally move it? Yeah, I did. So with oh, there you go. Same deal. We're gonna focus on the shadows and not much with the details and the tricky stuff. We're just gonna remove that arrow highlight. So one thing I need to remember is the hands are not casting shadows downward. They're gonna cast shadows upward. So that's one thing I should be keeping in my head, because the light is coming from the bottom upwards towards him. And we're just gonna be more on dealing with the folds mainly. It's not gonna be much of a different take here. Making sure that the shadow of the folds are there and we don't over detail stuff. And this is where most of this will culminate. It's just gonna be pure shadow. Maybe we could add more values in there because it's not too much to really define any edges there. So here's the cast shadow from the arms and the hands. Maybe a bit more. And just add more stuff here. Alright. Now we're gonna add also some maybe darker, almost occluded light, occluded shadow. I mean, yes, occluded light that will reflect as ambient occlusion. I'm just making my my job more difficult by saying that. It's gonna be occluded shadows, ambient occlusion. Fine. I said it. Because it's not much of an ambient occlusion, it's just the gradients from the shadow, right? Since the initial color we picked for the shadow is more of a midtone than shadow, really. So I kind of, there was a mistake on my end. So I am correcting it by putting a darker value on the pens to replace the midtones that I painted earlier. And I would also be painting this part here as the back of his coat, because this is it's kind of it's not like his feet is apart in this pose. Okay, so again I'm going around town, making sure that at least some semblance of edge would exist if I turn off the what you call this, the line work. So one thing I would actually be okay with is having the cast shadow of the cane right on his pants right here, because it's low enough that it would show. It's not like a few feet apart, so it would definitely show here. So that's done. Also, I'm gonna accidentally move that again. I'm gonna add more value here since it's really behind stuff, so barely any light is gonna come through that, but we don't want it to be black, just enough. There we go. Looking okay, looking decent. And now we're gonna go to maybe paint, and I'll fix this. We're gonna fix this ornaments on his clothes. Maybe I'll do that in a bit, but I just want to have some semblance of color there because it's looking a bit bland right now. So I just want to pop it out with some hue changes here and there, making sure the light is reflected on it. With color, of course, not just the white color stuff, coloration. So make sure of, I think it's gonna be brassy. It's orange in nature, but it's a bit darker than what is shown. So maybe we could fix that right now. There you go. It's a bit more better brass color. So the materials wouldn't show until you started considering how light would interact with material. Right now it looks like what do you call those, candy corns? It looks like that because it's not reflecting any light, and the sheen of metal is what makes material metallic, right? So as long as you don't consider that, it's not gonna show. It's not gonna show. So we're just adding more stuff here. I wish I could just paint over it, but it's below it. So this is something I could fix later on when I really started painting. And I think that's gonna take us to our next stream. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish it today, but we'll try our best to at least nail down the plan for the next stream, so we can see the process and the evolution of what we're trying to do. See it as it evolves and progress. See the roadblocks of what we have to do and what we need to fix. So it's good that it's on top of it, because I could paint over some stuff. Very nice. I like it. I like the direction it's going. So that's one thing. That's also a time saver, right? Because I already did the line work, already planned out the colors beforehand. So this is just making sure it's shown like in a presentable manner, applying fundamentals and stuff, so it becomes less of a active brain moment, like a big brain moment. It becomes more of a, what do you call this, like the application of fundamentals, like all the drills, all of the hours you spent on doing fundamental studies. This is where it applies, right? If you do it long enough and frequently enough while understanding what you're doing, what it's for, it becomes second nature. It becomes like breathing. You don't need to think about while you're breathing now. I told you that, and now you're thinking about it. But it's kind of like that. Sorry about that.
So, oh shit. Once you practice it long enough, it becomes like a part of the second instinct. It becomes less thought process. It requires that less thought process than what you originally would do if you're just learning it. And you could spend that time on deciding, on the planning stage, right? Like what we're doing right now. When I planned on the color, when I planned on the design, the character, things like that. So you're working on a certain bandwidth of information here. I'm not even talking. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, what I'm talking about is you could, if you talk the talk, right? If you really spend the time learning how to do it properly, it's gonna be a great benefit for you in the long run. And I'm still in the process of doing that. I'm not over I haven't reached the mountain yet. I'm still on the way, on the base of the mountain. So it's a long way climb up, and that's fine. People, I've seen Adam Lucid Pixels video. He was talking about his experiences the 25 years of artistic career. He was talking about learning all this stuff, all these years, and he's still learning. So it gives me hope and not much dismay, or that, oh yeah, I'm already this old, and he's already done a lot, and I haven't even landed my first game. It didn't occur to me like that. It occurred to me like it's a long and arduous process, and seeing well-established artists also go through the same thing. It gives you hope that it doesn't need to be like, oh, I need to be working for this company at the age of 21. It doesn't work like that. It's one of the careers that, what I really like about it is, it's one of the careers that grows ripe with age. It's age like plant. And you're not stuck in one department, right? You're not stuck in one goal. Aside from concept art, I also want to write and draw my own comic books, right? And from there, I could write my own novels. So it's more on how you could network your passions, your goals. Sorry about that. You may encounter, you know the saying that jack of all trades, master of none. That is true if you chase them all at once. That is true if you chase them all at once. But if you chase one thing while learning other skills along the way, that's entirely different. That's entirely different. It's you're opening up yourself to become adaptive, and that's what, especially nowadays, right? It's really gonna make or break something. Maybe your career, maybe your financial status, maybe emotional and psychological status. Learning, same thing with like music, right? People have their own tastes, they have their own genres that they listen to. And how I took up on that is like, why would I shun a specific genre or a specific type of music that I don't grew up with or I don't like, but it's actually good, right? I am only doing myself a disservice by excluding a certain type of media and not really diving into what makes it actually good and what makes it actually what what I forgot the word, but yeah, you're just doing. I'm just doing myself a disservice of doing that. So I tend to be more absorbing, if that's a word, when it comes to learning new stuff and enjoying new stuff. So I don't mind new softwares. I don't mind the industry shifting from one place to another. I don't really think I don't mind it because it just opens itself to more stuff to study, and that excites me. And it's something like when I was a student, I don't really mind studying. I just hate studying things that I don't really care about. Like right now, I love history. Like I would binge watch history channels and learn about new stuff. But when I was in school, I don't give a shit. I didn't like. I would remember a factoid about a general's gun that he used to betray the president. But I wouldn't remember who are the peoples were, who were they, right? It's more of the interest and curiosity that really make it stick with me. So if I'm curious about something or I'm interested about something, I just went ham in it, and the retention is like I could remember factoids like just like a normal person, but it just takes longer because I am really curious and interested about it, and that curiosity evolves into passion, right? Or you want to learn more about this stuff, and you start learning about more and dive deeper, and then you become more interested, right? So you became more invested in it, and that's a beautiful thing. It's just us keeping ourselves looking for stuff that keeps ourselves alive and feel alive, and that's one of the things I've learned that I should not change. I pick it up along the way. So yeah, how did I went on to tangents and landing onto that? I have no clue. I forgot the flow of sentence and structure on this stream. But anyways, back to the fucking color, because that's apparently what I'm doing right now. See, the entire time my brain was shut down. I don't even know what I did. Anyways, so we're just doing this stuff here, adding more. And we'll fix it later with a different brush, because this brush is good for jotting down paint. And we're gonna come with a more edge defining brush layer. I don't think this is. I think it's an okay brush. I'm still new to it, so there might still be some applications for it that I have not encountered yet. So the belt, I think red will be okay. Do I need to switch? Yeah, red leathery belt would be okay. A pouch belt. Maybe I want to go more of because he's not like an adventurer. He's more of what do you call this? A performer, right? So he wouldn't have like those pouchy adventure belts with the brown leather. I think he's gonna be more of the elaborate one. So maybe what's a good accent for that specific thing? I'm thinking maybe purple, I guess. Maybe speeder. The color is red. We have a blue skin, which is already analogous. And then we could either go pink or orange. Yeah, yellow is a bit okay. Maybe we'll find a proper color for that. Or maybe pink.
And then we could go in with the red for the actual leather. It's gonna be a good highlight because none of this is actually red. So we just double down on. It's gonna go double down on the color scheme. It's almost analogous or split complementary. No, it's not analogous. Fuck. It's complementary. So we're going the split complementary route. I think it's okay. Maybe a bit too red, but it has that royal. Maybe add a bit more darker. Make it royal red, so it doesn't look like a Power Ranger belt or something. Yeah, that would work. More of a leathery color. Maybe a tad bit more red here. Oh, that won't work like that. There we go. Alright, so we're done with the belt. Hair, okay. So we're gonna go with the hair. It's platinum-ish. It's a bit green. And we're gonna go blue for the shadow. So it's gonna go darker because blue is a darker color. Darker value for color as color goes. So that blue would really show shadow, but not gonna be dark because it's platinum, like grayish, platinumish green. So the blue would act like a shadow without, actually you putting the values down, because that's not gonna reflect better with how white his hair is. So we need to find the perfect balance of color and values right there. And of course, this is gonna be all shadows. What am I? Yeah, it's gonna be like that. So we're just planning out the shadow, the cast shadow from the brim hat, the brim of the hat, and maybe the back of his neck. Then we could allude to and add more colors here. Can I paint over the coat? No. Let's fix that later. When I actually painted, when I actually start painting it. Anyways, and we're gonna add more of that, more out here. Yep, it's looking decent right now. If you squint, that's one way of checking things. And we're gonna pick this color again. What's with this? I hope that's not too loud. So we are just, defining the braid. The braiding of the hair, and of course it's gonna fold over, right? So some part of it will not be showing some highlight since it's dropping down to the chest, like this parts. So just making sure that the values and shadows are not too extreme, but enough for us to build on later. There we go. Quite okay. I like it. And now we are gonna focus on. I think this would be too much. There we go. Now value. Oh, I can't color past the line, so I'm gonna stick to it. Okay, we're gonna add some highlight of that later. It's just bouncing off the room. It's not gonna be really a highlight directed from the spotlight behind it. And then the feather will be like this one. This is gonna be a gradient. I think it's secluded. So yeah, we just have a feather. Add more here. The base, where it's more dense and it will gather enough shadows in there, and it will fan out, and will actually let some light pass through it. So it's darker at the root of the feathers than the edges. And we could add some blue shining through there, so just to show the color. Like it's gonna be in the middle bit of it, so we're gonna repaint the violet, the tip, just the tip, like that, so it will reflect the, maybe tone it down a bit. It's looking quite pretty. Maybe add some of those in the middle bits, like since it's way up there and it's being shown, the spotlight is being rather harsh on it. It's a harsh light. We could detail it a bit, just the rim lighting, I guess, so that we have a definitive shape. I think we could follow once we start painting it. Just the rim lighting. We could detail it a bit later, but for now that should be enough. Alright, I guess we are done. Oh yeah, one more thing. Almost forgot. So on this chest, there's like this ornamentations on his shirt. It's just a quick thing I thought of. Make it more mystical since part are technically it's casters. Maybe that's too much. Just on the chest. Alright. I guess that's about it. Oh, the cane. The cane. So I want some ivory tip cane with gold, like snake coiling around the hand. That's what's the image I had in my head, and then some black or sheath or whatever is inside the cane for the actual body. That's what we're trying to do here. So ivory body. Don't poach, okay? Fuck ivory, it's a good looking thing, but fuck ivory. Synthetic ivory, I'm okay with. Do we even have that? We have synthetic ivory? I'm not sure. But yeah, don't kill poor elephants just for the ivory, and we don't have much rhinos left. So fuck them. Fuck the ivory, I mean. Now we're gonna go with lacquered black cane. This is gonna be a gold like motif on the handle of it. So now we're gonna go back to the snake coiling around it, just added more details. And it's gonna be the squiggly bit. I'm gonna scribble my way into it. Not actually detail much, but enough for us to know what we're dealing with once we start working with it. Maybe a bit more red. It's a bit too dark to be saturated. Maybe that's too much light. Just make sure the shadows over there. Okay, and then maybe we could roll it up in here, which we're gonna fix anyways later on. Just gonna make sure some of the colors are maintained here. And we already planned out for it. I mean, of course, the highlights. Shows a bit of material. But that's gonna fix later on. Okay, some of the highlights here. Okay. Again, back to the orange color to show on the cane itself. That one. It's the same. My color blindness is triggering right now because it's orange. I can't see orange when good. So I have to consult the color wheel a lot for that. Making sure it's relatively orange on my eyes for everyone's eyes. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, we haven't put the second lighting back onto the painting, and we just finished toning the values to a single value range, and we're gonna decide on the midtones, the second light, and we're gonna start detailing it way more on the next stream. So fixing some of the errors once we merge down the layers, that's what I'm hoping to do next. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Polly, thank you for commissioning, allowing me to illustrate your character for commission. Those who dropped by, Joycey, Carlen, Ellison, thank you guys for dropping by, and I'll see you again maybe tomorrow or next time, whenever I decide to do the stream. Alright? Thank you guys. And